Oh, now it's saying
Yes.
Zoom, YouTube. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it just you had to give permission.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
live.
We're live?
Remember
Live.
up here. Hit the...
Okay.
We are live. Are we live?
Are we live? Hold on. It's redirecting to YouTube now.
I'm just going into your
Okay.
channel to have a look.
But they're going to get all that part where I'm like doing this about
What's
YouTube and Zoom.
What's the name of your channel again?
Are you being serious? My world famous
Yes.
film photography channel.
I was trying to get you a plug on your own channel. And yes, we're live. I can see it. I can see
We
it.
are live.
We are
Yes.
live. We are
Hello.
live.
Hello, Matthew. Thank you for joining me
Hello,
for,
Lucy Lemon.
I think this is episode 8 maybe, but it's been
Yeah.
6 months. We were just saying until since we've done an analog hour. So it's been a minute.
We've been on a hiatus. I can't even say that. We've been on a hiatus. Yeah. You used one of my most hated phrases.
I know. I've been waiting to actually
just
say
slip
that
in. Yeah,
because I was like,
wow.
this is perfect, perfect thing.
Perfect way to get my burn book of Lucy Lemon going for the new season. Yeah.
You got to fill it up for the rest of the year.
That's right. Yeah.
So comment below and let us know where you're watching from. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm excited to catch up with you, Matt, because I feel like we haven't really talked even offline as much because we've both been so busy. So yeah, how have you been generally?
I've been really well. The main thing I did this year was we went on our first family holiday in over 3 years. We went to Japan for 3 weeks, which was wonderful. So it was a wonderful trip. We'll talk more later about that, but I come back, feeling creative and refreshed. I lost some weight. I had a good time. Didn't want to come home, but you got to face reality sooner or later, Lucy Lemon.
I know. Yeah, it's really hard when you come back from a holiday. You get like the blues and but it's good. It's very it's very creatively fulfilling, especially for photography, because when you get to photograph a new place, because me and you are always kind of hitting up those same
trolleys. The same dustbins and
gotta
trash
get
cans.
those Japan trolleys and bins. I don't know if
put
they
the flash on.
Yeah.
Load up the Ektar and the point and shoot and flash that trash can. So.
Yes, flash that trash can.
So it looks like we've got a few people. Hello, Terence. Hello, Trucker. Hello, Molly. Hello, Latitude. Hello, Jamie. Tell us where you're from in the comments. Tell us where you're from. We'd love to hear where you are. Trucker is in Rhode Island, which I believe is it the smallest state in the United States? I believe Rhode Island. I'm pretty sure it is.
Not sure, but I believe you, Matt. You're always good with these solid facts.
Geography, yes. Yeah. Sunny Wales.
Sunny Wales. Nice.
I've seen the weather has been quite nice this week in the United Kingdom from my Facebook.
Yes, so, I have seen that too on Instagram. That's nice. Yeah, it's been cold here.
And it's been very it's been beautiful weather, like it's been sunny weather and cool, but they've been doing burn offs here, like they've been burning bushland, haven't they, Lucy Lumen? And there's been a lot of no, it's not soot, what is it, like particles in the air, burnt trees in the air, it's making everyone very snotty and gross.
So we're very congested. It's really making our Queensland accent sound even more nasally.
Yeah, that's right. Although we go Stockholm, everything is in Stockholm. Edward Iglesias is in Rhode Island as well. Two people in Rhode Island.
Who would have thought?
Newport, Rhode Island. I think that's where we won Australia won the America's Cup in 1983, much before you were born, Lucy.
Yes.
But sunny Manitoba. Hello, Michael in sunny Manitoba. Terence is in Disneyland.
Wow, very cool. I hope you're having fun.
Hello, Molly. Yes, hello. Sorry.
And hello, Molly. Hello, everyone. That's all right. We could just, the whole live stream will just be hello.
Like an hour continuous loop of us.
Like
hello.
Yeah, you sound like my son. He's like, hello to everyone now, because he can. He's got the hang of that. It is cute. It's a bit cuter when he does it. Yeah.
Well, more than me for sure. Yeah.
So let's get into our usual topics of what you've been shooting. So obviously you've been in Japan, but what kind of film stocks have you been shooting, and what cameras, Matt?
I think I sent a load of film to the lab just before Christmas. God, it was a long time ago. And then I sort of went on, I just didn't shoot much film in January, February and March. I just wasn't shooting much. I bought a new camera, which is this shock horror. It's the Ricoh GR3, which is a beautiful little digital point and shoot. Lovely little camera.
It's very cute. Yeah.
And I kind of wondered, like, why have I bought this? Like, I've got so many cameras. Why have I bought this? And I was, taking photos around Brisbane, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have bought it. Then I went to Japan and I realized why I had it, because I had such a wonderful time. It's such a cool camera to have in your pocket. And it was really in Japan, I was like, I've got to force. I brought 22 rolls of film with me to Japan, Lucy Lumen, and I was
Wow.
like, I've got to shoot film as well, and I almost had to force myself into shooting film because I was just having such a good time with the Rico.
Yeah.
But I'm
Okay.
really glad I did. I shot 12 or 13 rolls in
That's
Japan,
pretty
12 rolls I think it
decent.
was. Yeah, and so really that's been the majority of my film shooting this year. Those 12 rolls in Japan when I was very inspired.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's a good way to shoot film. Like
Mm.
now, considering, you know, how much it is, like mixing it in with
Yeah.
digital and shooting it when you're really like on a trip like that, for
Inspired and
sure.
not.
Yeah.
See, 2 or 3 years ago I would shoot film just to test the camera or just for the sake of it, whereas now
Yeah.
it's a bit like, well, I can't really get much more of this film anymore, and it's going up in price. Even Color Plus which was 10 Australian dollars, $6.50 US at Kmart, it's now gone up to $14 if you can get any.
If you can get it.
So
Yeah.
everything's going up. Hey,
It is. It is. I know I'm starting to worry because I've been shooting a lot for work, and
Yep.
and I'm doing all of that on film.
Yep.
Which is good because it's like I enjoy it and it kind of justifies film a bit more.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm starting to worry because I've burnt through a lot of my Ultramax stash
Yes.
and a lot of my Fuji Superior stash for
Yep.
jobs. And I'm just left with all this because I thought when I started shooting professionally, I bought a lot of Portra.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Portra
yeah.
400, and I was like, oh, you know, like, and now I've just got like 3 packs of Portra 400 sitting there, so I might have to use them in my personal work because the professional work seems to be more like when I show people, like, yeah, they kind of want that more consumer grade film like look,
It's
or
quite
it, you know,
obviously film the more high
yeah,
saturation and more bit more grain.
bit more grain. Yeah, they kind of want that. So it's kind of funny. Oh, that's how it's working for me. I'm sure if you're shooting portraits, it's different. But yeah, so you might be seeing more Portra 400 from me. I did shoot a roll and I pulled it to two stops. I got the film back yesterday. I got 7 rolls back.
Shot it at 100?
Well, I shot it at box speed. So I'm going to do a video on this, but I shot it at box speed, and then I got Ikigai to pull it 2 stops in development.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do a video on kind of pushing and pulling film, and I'm going to get Pete to give his expert opinion and information on it. But I thought it was something that you, like you said, I would shoot it at 100 because I'm pulling it 2 stops. But I thought I'd see what it's like when you do it in the developing process. I feel like there's a few misconceptions. Like, is that just underexposing or overexposing the film?
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
There is a lot of misconceptions about pushing and pulling film. So whether you rate it at box speed or whether you rate it something else, that's just over or under a development. And then, as you've said, like the pushing and the pulling comes in only in the development. There's no such.
Yeah, like that's a developmental technique. It's not an in-camera technique.
Oh, I'm pushing the film in camera or I'm pulling the film in camera. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
But pushing and pulling is in the dev stage.
Yes. Yes.
So I've shot quite a lot of 400 speed film and 800 speed film at 1600, and then asked my lab to push it to stop. I've never pulled film though.
Yeah, this is my first time pulling film because I feel like I say this in the video, but like
that's it. That's a good name for a new YouTube channel, Pulling Film.
Pulling Film, yeah, it'd be the sister
It's
channel to pushing film,
right.
yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I feel like we see a lot of people push film,
yes,
especially like black and white and stuff, or just generally. And I've definitely pushed film, and it makes sense because I like, you know, like I pushed Color Plus and I got a little bit more punch. But I never think of pulling film. So
I think that's mainly a black and white thing, isn't it? I was led to believe. I don't know. I
don't know. I'm not really sure. I just feel like I don't see any videos on it, and I don't really like. I looked up like the hashtag like pulling film, and like just there wasn't really much going like, you know, around. So I thought it would be fun, and the results looked cool. Like it's like quite muted. The reds have gone kind of peachy.
Oh wow.
It's really it's nice. Like very like really
unusual, nice.
Yeah. Different, nice. So yeah, there'll be a video on that coming soon, but I was going to ask you if you'd pulled film before, but you haven't. So.
No, never have. No. I am keen though. It was Mike Kukovica, who is of course one of the hosts of the Negative Positives Film Photography podcast, based out of Louisville, Kentucky, by Mike Gutterman. So Kooks is out there in LA, I think, and he tagged me in a post recently where he pushed Sydney Still 400D. I think I'm not sure what he pushed it to, maybe 1600. and he tagged me in a post because I've done a lot last year. And now
Yeah.
it's winter here and we're getting the sunsets around 5 o'clock. I actually thought, yeah, I've only got a handful of rolls of 400D left, but I might get out there in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Lucy Lemon, and push some more film up to 1600. Well, I'll shoot it at 1600 and ask Ikigai to push it 2 stops.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've only got one roll of 400D left, and I'm saving it for the
Coolie Rocks On.
Yeah, like the Vintage Car
Yeah.
Festival, which is next weekend. Because that's I always go to that. It's like I mean, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like it's just there's just so many photo opportunities. But I had such success with 400D last time, so I'm gonna shoot a roll of that there with the cars, and then I'll probably shoot more than that. Hopefully, I feel like when you do that, it never works.
I'm about to say, every time I've ever tried to recreate the magic, it never really worked. It's always been a disaster.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Should we chat about that again in a sec? Let's just have a check-in here. We've got Jamie's from Chicago. Jay is from Delaware, which is the second smallest US state. There you go. Michael is in the Netherlands.
Hello.
What else have we got here? Hello, 1 month, 2 cameras.
Hello, Ali.
Hello. Yeah, we've got a few people watching live.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to chat with everyone. Yeah, it's been too long. We'll have to be a bit more regular with our live streams. We've just had so much going on, and you've been away, and I've been so busy with work. Like I've been getting a lot of jobs shooting venues, but also shooting stuff for brands, which I think I like a little bit better, if I'm allowed to say that, because you get the products and then you can go and do your own shoot with it, so you haven't got that pressure of being in the venue and someone's watching you, you've got to get it, you know what I mean? Like you could be a bit more kind of so it's interesting doing all these different things and saying yes to things and then figuring out what you like or what fits in with your life, or like you as a photographer, or what's sort of worth your time, and like all those things. So I'm trying to work through that at the moment. Have you ever done any professional work, Matt?
I won't say what kind of place it was, but I did do one a few years ago. I did one similar to what you're doing, like brands and products, and it was one where I had to go to their store and do it.
Okay.
And they were happy with the images, but I found it the lighting was terrible there, and I found it quite stressful.
It is
and
stressful.
I thought, actually, you know what? It reminded me years ago, I used to do portrait shoots here in Brisbane about 12 years ago. And after a while, I thought, yeah, it's good to get a bit of extra money, but I'm really not enjoying them. I would not use these photos in my portfolio. So I think it's about, I think there's a real thing, right? If you're going to do photography professionally, do you do whatever the client wants? And we want a photo like this style or that style, and you do it and you're not happy with it? Or do you do probably more what you're doing and saying, this is my style. If you want to hire me, but that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So like I went down the route of trying to please everyone, and in the end I pleased them, but I didn't please myself. So tell us about your kind of approach, Lucy Lemon, because you've pretty much gone, this is my style, hire me. You will
my way
hire me.
or the highway.
That's right.
Well, I feel like it kind of fell into my lap, which I hate when people say this when you want to find out how someone did something and they're like, oh, it just happened. Like I'm always like, no, I want a better story than that. But it did. People were kind of like, oh, your stuff looks cool. Will you shoot my whatever? And I was surprised and I did it. But I think what I do is I make sure they know, it sounds really counterintuitive, but like I make sure they know that I'm not a professional.
Set expectation.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not a professional. Like if you want this, and this, so all the things that I don't do, can't do, won't do, that, I'll say like, if you want those things, then like you'd be better off kind of with someone else. But if you want like a different fun kind of, aesthetic, a vibe, then, I can do that for you kind of thing. Or like I can give it a go if they do want me to do something when I'm there. And most of the time it has come out, like I don't know if it's luck or maybe I know a little bit more than I think I know. Sometimes I think that. Sometimes I think I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. But then I do stuff and I'm like, oh, okay. Like the other day I was shooting and Lux was like, oh, you're actually shooting like manual. And you're always like, I don't shoot manual. And so I was like, oh, like, I kind of forget.
That's cool.
But yeah, I think the piece of advice I would give is like what I've done, especially with brand things, is like, if you already own something, like say it's clothing or it's whatever it is, jewelry, or I don't know, even camera gear, whatever, and you would like to do work for that brand or whatever, do a shoot, like make the work that you want to be hired for and put that out into the world. And then that's like, you know, rather than waiting for someone to come to you to hire you for it, you know what I mean? Like just build a portfolio like that. That's kind of what I did. And it seems to have served me well. But there is a really good channel called Tin House Studio. He's in the UK. And he's very British. He's very like, I think you would like his channel. But yeah, he's a professional photographer. I think he does like food and drink and stuff. And he's also, you know, stepping into YouTube, and he's got really, really good advice for sort of breaking into the professional world, or, you know, tips on your portfolio, like all sorts of different things, like your mindset, like charging, just, heaps of things. I found his channel like really, really helpful. So I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going, say, the next year? Do you think you'll be doing more and more of these shoots, or are you trying to work out what you like and what you don't like? Or
yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to work out what I like and what I don't like, because it's also hard to fit it in sometimes, like if you have to go somewhere and do shoots, because I've got Luca, whereas with YouTube it's kind of more you make the schedule, but then that's kind of a longer path to it, you know, it becoming like something full-time. So I don't know, I'm just sort of taking things that I know that I want to do, and I've got a lot of repeat customers at the moment, so I've got a good sort of like base. But I'm I my love is YouTube and like creating content. I think like doing videos, like I feel like that's my favorite thing.
That's your thing.
Yes, that's
your
my
groove.
favorite.
That's
thing
your jam.
Yes.
Lucy Lemon jam.
Yeah. But what about
Excellent.
you? How are you feeling about like YouTube and all your like your Substack and all that kind of stuff? Are you enjoying it still?
I am enjoying it. It's just hard. I've spoken to you about this a lot. It's actually just hard to find time. So from Japan, I mean, I've been back from Japan almost 8 weeks. And I've put 3 videos up. I'm going to do a series of videos on my YouTube channel. I've got a playlist already called Japan on Film, and I've got 3 videos in there already. I think there's going to be around 8 film videos. And then there's going to be some digital videos as well. I shot on the Ricoh, and also shot 1 or 2 off from my Fujifilm camera. So I feel like there's at least 12 to 14 videos from Japan. I've been back 2 months and I've done 3, and I've got a 4th and a 5th in the works, but it's just good. Time. It's hard to, you know, like I think Molly from Eclectic Chrome was talking about how many hours it took her to create a video. And like it takes, I don't know, upwards of 10 hours probably easily.
It does. It sounds crazy when you say that, like, and you think, oh, but it really does, especially if we did, Reese, sorry to cut you off. We, when we shot that pulled roll of Portra, we went out on location and filmed like an old school photo walk, like what we did, because we haven't done that in so long. And like that's even more work, because I'm like, that's only half the video. Then I've got to come back and do like a piece to camera, like in here. So it just like, sometimes it can be like 20 hours, like
for sure,
or even more. Like,
and that's not even including Lux's time, is it? You know, that's just the talent's time. But I've done a video, I think it was last weekend, where I did a video. It's called "Is There Any Film Left in Japan?" And I'm talking about what I found in Japanese camera shops over there. And I did all the camera pieces within about an hour, and I've edited them. They all look pretty good. But now I'm like, okay, now I've got to go back through my GoPro footage from Japan and get the bit where I was at that camera store and at this camera store, and when I did some video of the film shelf. And so I'm like, I've probably done more than half the job, but it's probably only 60% done. So it's hopefully I'll have that 4th video out in the next few days, but we'll see.
I'll look forward to that. A couple of questions about Japan, Matt. Did you see a lot of film cameras or like digicams, or what were you kind of seeing from people on the streets? Because I always find that interesting.
Really. No, not really. I probably saw a couple of people with film cameras, but not many. There's plenty of film camera stores. Like once we got off the bus one day, like we went to somewhere called Tokyo Team Lab Planets. It's like this immersive art experience. It's pretty cool.
Okay,
In the middle
cool.
of nowhere. And we got off the bus in Ginza to transfer to go somewhere else. And we literally, the bus stop is literally right outside a camera store. So I went in, and you can walk into any camera store, into like in these camera stores. And if you want a Pentax 6.7, if you want an FM2, if you want a nickel or 50mm or whatever lens, you'll find them there. You know, the prices are probably, I think they're about the same, unless you're lucky. The prices are about the same as eBay.
Okay.
And the problem is that there's not many point and shoots. So if you're a point and shoot fiend like me, unless you go to a specialty store, most camera stores don't sell many point and shoots. It's all SLRs or rangefinders or medium format. But the thing is this, I thought, well, if I did buy a camera, I'm gonna have to put two or three rolls through it really quickly to make sure it works okay. Get them processed, have a look at the negs and then what if there's a problem? I've got to go back to the camera store and explain. So I thought it's probably safer to buy from a reputable dealer from Australia, unless you're in Japan for an extended period of time and you can get to a lab and get your film processed, you know. So I didn't actually. I bought one camera. I can't find it actually. I've been looking for it. I can't find it. I bought the world's worst camera twice now. It's a tiny little digital camera. I'll do a video about it soon, but I bought another one of the world's worst camera. So yes,
look forward to that. Yeah, I was gonna say, did you buy any cameras? But yeah, it sounds like it'd be safer to just stick with eBay.
Well, sure. I saw this is in my upcoming video, but I saw a couple of point and shoots. But cut a long story short, they said, I was really excited, and I said, I did a translation app, can I please see these cameras? And he just wrote back, that's the broken shelf. I was like,
oh no,
that's why the
graveyard shelf.
Yeah, that's why a GR21 is $300, because it's broken. So yeah.
Yep. Okay. And what about film? Did you buy any film? Because you said it was pretty expensive in Japan.
It's very expensive. Most of the color film
Why is that? Is that an ignorant question? Or
I don't know. Well, see, a lot of the color film available over there is Kodak, so it's imported from the States.
Okay.
There'll be taxes on that.
Yeah.
The only roll of film I bought was Iskura Showa camera film, which is in my first Japan on film video, which is called Mystery 35mm Japanese film.
Yep.
And so that was 30 exposures, very odd. I suspected that it's been bulk rolled, 30, because there's no edge markings or frames on the film. When Nikki Guy did me a contact sheet, no frame numbers, no edge markings at all. Very weird. So we suspect that it's a bulk rolled film, 30 exposures as well as a giveaway. Why would there be 30 exposures on a roll of film? So that was a lot of fun, but and you can see all about that in my video. Mystery 35mm Japanese film or something like that it's called. That's the only roll of film. I did buy some. The only other film I bought that was cheap,
oh cute,
Instax. So Instax is really cheap over there, as you'd expect, made in Japan.
That makes sense. So
these were about $9 Australian a pop. So usually in Australia these are about 15 Australian dollars, which is about 10 US. But they were like quite a bit cheaper over in Japan. So I don't even shoot much Instax Mini, but I was like, well, it's cheap, I may as well buy it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, make the most of it for sure. Yeah. I don't shoot much Instax, just we've got an Instax Wide, so I used that on a job the other day. Nice. Just for fun, to feel like I was testing on instant film, even though it's not, I was like, this is kind of dumb, but it was cool to have them. I have them at the shoot. So awesome. And you said that you're planning a trip, possibly a solo trip to Japan.
Well, yeah,
maybe.
I loved it so much. I was just in my elements. I took a lot of camera gear, too much. I've actually spoken about that in your latest Substack, Lucille, and you graciously interviewed me for that.
Yes, definitely check that out, everyone. If you want a little bit more. I took way too much gear, but the thing is, it's a bit of a mind shift sometimes when you go on a holiday with the family, because you're taking all this camera gear, but it's not a photography trip. So you've got to find opportunities. I got out there early, but everyone in my family sleeps in. So I'm out there on the streets at 7 o'clock. I'm out when the kids are watching the YouTube at night, or TV or Netflix on their iPads late at night before bed. I'm out there on the streets of Japan with my cameras. You've got to try and make the most of it. And the thing is, I really would love to just go back to Japan for 12 days and just take photos. So I'm considering going back in October, November. I'm not sure if it's going to come off at this stage, but I am going to the Brisbane Camera Fair tomorrow to sell a whole load of gear to try and kickstart my fund. For Japan.
Yeah, correct. For Japan Mark II.
Go fund me for Japan. Yeah. Okay, awesome. What have you got? What are some of the things that you've got for for
So
sale?
I've got quite a few cameras. Like I've got 2 of these Lomo LCAs. This is the original like
Okay. Yep.
Russian or Soviet Lomo LCA, should I say?
Yeah, I've looked at those
Um,
before. Yeah.
yeah, so I got 2. I didn't realize I had 2. So I'm selling one of them. The light seals are gone, so you get some cool light leaks, but otherwise I'm selling one of them. I'm selling a few other little point and shoots. I'm selling expired film, $7 a roll Australian, which is about, I don't know, $4 a roll US,
Yep.
or
Cool.
3 for 20, something like that. And I'm
Nice.
also selling some zines. So from my Japan trip, Lucy Lumen, I have created
Oh,
a
yay, it's
zine.
here. It looks awesome. Is it the
35
same
millimeter Japan.
size as purple?
Yes. So it's 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters, which is 8 inches by 8 inches, 40 pages, 40 film photographs. You can find out more at mattlovescameras.com. Now, are
Yep.
you coming to the camera fair tomorrow, Lucy Lemon?
I am. Yes, I was talking
Okay.
to Naomi.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
messaged me and said, "Will you be there?" And I said, "Yes,
Yeah.
I will." So I'm
So
really excited.
I've got a little thing here. So I've got 50 of these. I've sold 20 already.
Okay.
Now, so if you buy this from our website, mattlovescameras.com, you'll get the zine. Okay. 40 pages of film photography from Japan, all color. You'll get the new Matt Loves Cameras point and shoot sticker.
Ooh, swanky. I
which
like
does
it.
not, I've been told to say by my lawyers, this does in no way this resembles a Contax T3. No way at all. No
way.
similarities.
No.
You'll
You're
also
safe.
get 2 of these Juzankai shrine postcards. This is a beautiful Shinto shrine in Hokkaido.
Yeah,
You'll get
so
2 of them,
nice.
one to keep, one to send a friend. You'll also get some random postcards.
Yep,
Okay, so
the
you'll get all
classics.
that. It's all on for sale on my website for $22 US shipped anywhere in the world, and there's Aussie and UK pricing as well in there.
Nice.
However, if anyone, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Lucy Lumen, because now you're coming to the camera fair tomorrow, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now, is it fair to say that in true Lucy Lumen style, Lucy Lumen style,
Lucy Lyman.
you look like Lucy Lyman today, actually, in your green.
I do. Yes, I do.
Lucy Lyman. It's your ulterior persona, Lucy Lyman. So is it fair to say that you'll be looking pretty, dolled up and pretty on point?
I would say so. I'll probably really go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if anyone buys a copy of my zine from the website in the next hour, okay, here's a proposal. I'm going to bring along an Instax camera tomorrow, and they, as well as getting all this stuff, the sticker and the postcards and the zine, they'll also get an Instax mini of Lucy Lumen.
Oh, wow.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
Yes, I love that. I was worried that you were going to make me wear something like
no,
embarrassing if you sold a zine, and I was like, oh no,
of course not. So there you go. If anyone buys the zine in the next hour, you get all the postcards and the stickers. You also get an Instax mini of Lucy Lumen, and she might even kiss the back of it.
Oh, yes.
With lipstick or something.
With lipstick, I will be wearing lipstick.
Well, you actually might get that on the zine, so that's probably
maybe not. Maybe not.
So there you go.
I love that idea. Did you just come up with that then?
Yeah, well, I was thinking earlier about good marketing ideas, and I thought,
that's great.
What would energize?
You for...
what would energize the Lucy Lumen crowd? A personalized Instax mini of Lucy Lumen along with their zine.
I feel so famous too. I love this. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited for the camera fair. We are looking for, I've got it written down, or Lux is looking for, we wanted to get a macro lens because we're doing a lot of like really close up stuff for like product photography. Canon? Probably Nikon. I think he was talking about the micro 50mm or a D series Nikon, because then it would have autofocus. So nice. I don't know if that will be there, but that's sort of what we're keeping an eye out for. And then other than that, sort of looking around, do people sell many zines or any other kind of stuff like prints, or is it just sort of cameras?
No, so I'm taking my zines tomorrow. It's kind of a weird place if anyone hasn't been there. It's like a little hall in Albion, right, in Brisbane. The hall is way too small. Okay. And when you go into the hall, it's like you feel like you're going to catch the flu or COVID or something because there's so many people packed in there. Yeah. So and it's really noisy and it's quite warm in the hall. And so I took a stand outside. Outside is in fresh air, but outside's like, it's undercover, but it's like this dirt. Like it's pretty gross. And last time I come away, when I was selling, I come away with like, I was all snotty the rest of the day because I felt like always this dirt was in my brain and whatever. So I'm actually going to wrap all my zines up in, I've got some clear cellophane. Yeah. So I'm wrapping up in cellophane to protect them. What was this question even about? Is there many people there? So not many people sell zines. So I'm taking mine and I'm protecting them in cellophane. If I sell more than 3 zines at the fair, I'd be over the moon. It's mainly cameras, film, and other accessories and collectibles. Most of the stuff is film based. There's a bit of digital. There will be some people selling film there. I think Film Never Die.
I think Film Never Die. I saw, because we were supposed to go last year and then we got COVID, so we couldn't come, which obviously sucked.
Oh, there was plenty of COVID at the fair. You could have brought it yours along.
Well, maybe I'll get some this year. I'll bring some home with me. Oh God, it's just the sickness.
The joy that keeps
is
giving.
Relentless.
Yeah, and I think PhotoFast had a stand, which is a Brisbane lab,
they're in
not
Brisbane,
last year, but the year before they were there. So there should be. There's usually people selling books. There's people selling old collectibles. There's music. So it is a really good event. The only thing is, like, there's so many people there, and it's hard to I hope I have a chance to speak to people, because when you're selling stuff to people and people come up,
I know it's like, and that's like, I've done markets before, but for clothes, and like when people come up and talk to you, it's nice. Or like if someone friends come, you're like, oh hi, but you're also like, people are looking at my stuff, I want to talk to them. Can you go?
Well, I'm bringing Sarah. Sarah should be coming. Well, the kids have been a bit sick this week, but hopefully Sarah is coming with me. She's going to be my little stand watcher while I'm putting her in charge of a few of the low value items. She can watch over that. Well, I don't want her to give away one of my expensive cameras for $5 or something.
She's like, oh, that's just $5, and it's like she sold everything.
That's right.
Oh dear. Looks like Matt, you've sold a zine.
Oh really?
There you go. You're
Oh wow.
Trucker Grumpy. I don't know what your
Thank you.
name is, but you'll get a really nice Instax of
there we go. You get
Lucy Lyman.
If there's any at least you're wearing green. Trucker Grumpy, if there's any particular pose, within reason, that you would like Lucy to perform within reason, bearing in mind we'll be in public. And both my wife and Daniel will be there, so anything too risque, I would not feel comfortable shooting. But let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, that's exciting. I love that. Yeah, it's a really good idea. I will definitely be filming a little bit as well. Well, I won't, but Lux will. I think, because you said it's really noisy at the fair, but I don't know if do you watch King Japes, his channel?
I've seen his stuff before.
He did a video recently. I think it was a beers and cameras meetup in Chicago, and it was like so busy, like huge. There were so many people there. I was like, I had the biggest FOMO. Like, I was just like, I had to turn it off, because I was like, I just want to be there so bad. And it was really, really busy. Like, but he was filming, and it was really noisy, but it was kind of, he really captured the vibe of it, and he was going around asking people like what cameras they had and stuff like that. But we'll just see, because you said, it might be hard to talk to people, but even if we just get B-roll of it, and then we can kind of show people the Australian film photography scene, because I feel like we're so spread out, and it doesn't feel the same as like the when you watch all the American channels when they've got all these like meetups and stuff. But
I think you can do it, but you just have to make sure people talk, maybe get them away from the action and get them to speak really loudly. It might be kind of noisy.
Cool, awesome. So, and then we've got the Cooley Rocks on the Vintage Car Festival the next weekend coming up, and I've got a few exciting things coming up that I can't talk about, which is annoying, but it'll come. And I had my reel with Cine Still came out. I think it was 2 weeks ago now. That was really fun to be able to because that was filmed a while ago, and finally came out. So that was really, really fun. It felt really cool to be on there.
The Cine Still one?
Yeah,
I saw that. I did the. Like, I thought, like, they're obviously pitching a lot of their stuff at young people. So what could I put for a comment? So I put the fire emoji three times.
Yes. Fire. Yes, I saw. It's very youthful of you. Fire. Yeah.
What can I do? What can I say? So, it was very good. It was amazing. It was really good. It was well shot and great photos.
Thank you. Yeah, it was cool to put that together. And we're putting together some reels for some of the venues that we've shot to.
Yeah.
Like just Lux filmed like on the XT4, and then we're going to put them together, just kind of
bit of a value add.
Yeah, thinking of maybe offering that, but then it's so much more complicated with video. Like, there's just so many more things to go wrong, and like, all that kind of stuff. So it's hard, but we'll see how it goes. I had something I was going to say, I've forgotten now. But I'll check in with the comments. Christopher, there's going to be a big film photography meetup event in New York in September. That sounds really fun. Oh, so wish I could be there. We're hoping to plan a trip like next year, maybe somewhere, because like it's just so hard when you've got a little one, because I don't want to be away from him for too long. But then when you're in Australia and you go somewhere, you really want to make the most of it, especially if you go to America or to Europe, because it's quite a long way. You know what I mean? So I don't want to
take Bubba?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I don't want to sound rude, but I just want to do, I would want to do things that like probably wouldn't be like appropriate.
They've got creches in America.
I just ask one of the
good news, kid. You go to America. The bad news, he's going to be in a creche the whole time. Lucy Lumen's hitting the art exhibits.
Maybe I can leave him with various different like film photographers to watch. You can rotate between them. I just I'd want to like there's a lot of places I'd want to eat and see, and I'm sure we could maybe if he's a little bit older, but it would be
I'll tell you what, this is my tip to you. If you're going to go anywhere like Japan, take your kid before they're 12, because once they hit 12, they're an adult. Everything, they're basically paying adults prices.
Oh, really?
Everything in Japan. And it's funny, like people think of Japan as a very expensive destination. A lot of the food and drink, Lucy Lemon, was cheaper than Australia. Australia's really expensive.
Wow.
Like,
I thought Japan was like really expensive for everything.
Like you can get a bottle of water for about $1 Australian, 70 US cents or 65 US cents. You can't do that in Australia.
No.
Like you just can't. You'd be double or triple that. Like chocolate bars, when you go to get a meal, unless you're going, Wagyu beef or something, a lot of the meals are, like the fast food's cheaper. A lot of the meals are cheaper. Yeah. Like it really is. The trains are fairly decent prices. Like it's quite amazing how cheap Japan actually is when you're there. It's not expensive at all.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Cause I always thought it was really like the transport, food, like all of that. But yeah, Australia is really expensive, I think, but it's kind of relative, I suppose, to our wages. Yeah, I think. I don't know if that's kind of shifting, but yeah. Well,
thank you. I've had some zine sales, Lucy Lumen. Matt, that was a
that's great.
Marketing genius, Lucy Lumen.
Marketing genius. Yeah, you should.
Exploiting our friendship.
So that's
so
okay.
I
don't mind.
David, David, I believe that is our friend in Rhode Island. I think he said in the comments, Staffan and Anthony. Thank you, gentlemen.
Nice,
gentlemen. Thank you very much.
I'll have to get photo ready for my.
If there's any, like I said, if there's any particular, the Japanese style Lucy Lumen pose, or you want to, let us know.
Yeah, awesome. That's very cool. I'm excited for you. And thank you, Ali. She's saying that she would babysit, so I appreciate that.
That's nice.
Yeah, and like a lot of Ali has kids, so like the kids could meet. So I do want to, but it's just it's hard. Terrence, come to LA, we'll take care of you guys. I'm selling so many zines, getting so many babysitting
you'd be couch surfing. You'd be couch surfing LA.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about the rest of the year, Matt? I know we sort of discussed this a little bit in my the interview that we did in my Substack, but do you have any plans for another zine or anything kind of like on the horizon?
Not really. I mean, it's interesting. I think I spoke to you about this privately, but when I've done a collab through my podcast, which, it's only sporadic these days, but I've done 4, I think, community competitions where one was based on those panoramic cameras, or the really cheap plasticky ones. Another one was on the purple film. Another one was on cross processing. So I've done 4 competitions, I think, or maybe 5, I can't remember. But when you do a collab zine, you put the zine out there and you wake up the next morning and you get 25 notifications of people, because everyone wants the zine because they're in the zine.
In the zine,
but when you do a solo one, it's a little bit more of a grind, which is why you got to pimp out Lucy Lumen Instaxes. You know what I mean? Because you got to try and give people an incentive, so it's a little bit more of a grind to get people to buy them. So I don't think I'll be doing any more. I'll probably be doing some e-zines. So what I'm doing on my Substack at the moment, for subscribers, they actually, if you don't want a physical copy of the zine but you'd like to see a PDF, an instant download, all you need to do is go to mattlovescameras.substack.com. And if you any subscriber plan, even with the 1 month $5 one, you can download a copy of this straight away. And I'm actually adding more. I've already added one more zine, Fantastic 2020, and I'll be adding about another 6 zines to Substack. And I'm even toying with the idea of doing future zines, but just doing them as a PDF release for subscribers on Substack.
Yeah.
Because it is a grind. When you get one printed, you get worried, is it look okay?
Is it gonna look okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these arrived yesterday and I was so nervous, like, because did I make sure
and
it's
making
all
all the
perfect,
decisions for whenever I've kind of flirted with the idea of doing it, I then go on and I flirting with the excuse me, the idea of a zine.
Nixon, it's Lucy.
Not really gonna order anything, just here to look around, but
kick tires.
Yeah, I look at the like GSM, like the paper, and then the
Yeah.
size, and then it's matte or it's this, and I'm like, oh my God, like, will I make the right decision? Like all of that stuff. And then you've got to get them like
interestingly,
shipped and
Gab Gallant, who is a fan of your channel and mine, he said Matt should drop a video on how he creates zines. Now, funny you should say that, Gab, because I've already recorded one when I was doing this one here. I've already recorded it.
Oh, nice.
I just need to, it's about 70% of the zine process. I just need to finish off a few other bits and pieces, like this is how you upload it, this is what you do, and this is why I chose this paper. So that is in the works. That will be coming probably the next 2 or 3 weeks. The other thing, I think Gab said to me on my YouTube that Gab bought a zine, but I can't see Gab's name anywhere in my PayPal. So I'm kind of worried that Gab didn't buy it or bought under a different name. But let me know, Gab. You can message me on Instagram or YouTube or whatever.
DM you so you can find out. Yeah. That I totally agree. I was going to bring that up. I'm excited for your video on how to put a zine together, because there are some out there. I think Willem Verbeek has one, but it's kind of more about the picking the photos and all of that, rather than like the actual putting it together, which is the part that I find really like overwhelming when I actually
looked at Canva, but I just use InDesign because I'm not very good with InDesign. I'm not a graphic designer, but I managed to do it to a standard where I got a print product and it looks pretty good. Well, I think it looks pretty good. My mum thinks it looks good as well, Lisa Lemon, so that's all it counts. And I do all these postcards on through InDesign and through Mixem. And like I'm I can use Photoshop and Lightroom and Premiere Pro, but I'm not particularly great at any of them, but I managed to funnel my way through.
I think all your zines look really great, and like the postcards and all that's always really good quality. So yeah, Mixem seems like a good option. I've thought about, like, I did do a Substack on this, but I'm decided to not do a zine.
Not do a zine. Why I'm not doing? I was gonna do my follow-up. Why I am doing a zine.
Why you are doing a zine? I just feel I felt like I feel like I should do it. So I'm like, like that's the path. That's what everyone does. So that's what I should do. And that's why I wrote that. Because I think sometimes we see people in the community, in whatever community it is, and you think like, oh, that's the done thing. So that's what I'll do. But
I think you should only do it if you want to do it. Like it's not a path to riches. Like, I mean, I haven't
unless
even broken even yet.
Unless you've got Lucy Instax.
Well, exactly.
Obviously, yeah.
But I mean, I've ordered 50. I think I worked out really to break even. I got to sell over 40.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's you only do it because you like the creative process.
Yeah.
And a film podcaster I heard once said that you should basically factor in a zine as something like it's something you buy, like lab services or buying film. Like it's something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Unless you're famous or you've got a lot of hundreds of these, like you wouldn't do it to make money. Like you'd be mad. There's easier ways to make money than make a zine. Because you're not making money all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's more of a labor of love, and it's some people really like. I feel bad, like I don't. Like someone had commented on my latest video about. I did a video on sort of like what photography sells well as prints, just because I get a lot of people like messaging me saying like I don't know what to upload to my darkroom or whatever. And I get that. Like when I started, I had different stuff on there to what I have now.
Yeah.
But I did a video on that, and someone had commented kind of saying like, oh, I think you're missing the part of like seeing your prints, like seeing your photos printed. Which I do agree with, and I understand what they were saying, but like I kind of like it fits my lifestyle so much to sell on darkroom, because it goes out, like it drop ships. And part of me sometimes feels like in film photography, people kind of like have this expectation of like what a film photographer will be like. Like you'll want to be printing your work, or you can only sell prints seriously or be taken seriously if you're like printing them yourself in the darkroom and you know what I mean? And like hand packaging them. And it's just like, I feel like that would probably stop people from selling prints, because they're like, oh, well, I don't have time to do that, or I don't know how, or whatever it is. And that's why darkroom's so good, because it's like, or something like any of those
Yeah.
platforms, like it just fits in with me, and I don't want to feel like just because I do a tangible type of photography, I don't have to make that doesn't have to be the theme throughout the whole of my photography. Kind of like how
No.
me and you like sending, it just fits in better to send our film away.
For
And like
sure.
people are
I
always
think you've gotta do
commenting,
what
oh,
works for
you've got to
you.
develop and you've got to
No, you don't.
the process. And it's like, I get people like that, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't sound enticing to me at all. Like
Yeah,
I just like
that's the
taking
thing.
the
I don't think you
photos.
can be straitjacketed by what other people do. Like I'd love to be retired, right, and have millions of dollars in the bank, and I'd learn how to do my own color and my own black and white, and I'd
Yep.
have a enlarging thing and make my own prints. That sounds wonderful. I don't have the time or the money or the space to do that at the moment.
Yep.
So the thing I enjoy the most is getting out there with a camera and taking the photos. That's what I love. And
Same.
I outsource, as you do, I outsource the development to Australia's best lab, Ikigai Film Lab in Melbourne.
Yes.
You know, a
We
bit of
love
plug there for
Ikigai.
them. So I just don't have, and I think if I developed and scanned it, it would take a while for me to learn those skills, and my results would not be as good as what my lab do.
Yep.
So it's swings and roundabouts. You know, the other thing about darkroom I was thinking about when you're talking about darkroom is that you have a very international audience. Like my audience is a lot smaller on YouTube, but like over 50% of my audience on TikTok and YouTube is in America.
Yep.
It's not economically feasible to get prints in Australia and always ship them to America. It's just not.
Yeah.
And that's why the zine has to be, for example, the zine has to be under a certain weight. If this was too heavy, it basically, I'll be losing money. So I'll be losing a lot of money. So I had to make sure the zine weighed a certain amount. So you've got to be very, international audiences, I think drop shipping like darkrooms is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think being in Australia really changes the game with that. And that was another reason why I did the prints that way, because I think half my audience are in the US, and then Germany, big portion of them are in Germany. And then,
I want to see Lucy Lemon speak a bit of German on your channel.
Oh God, really? Oh. I did an Italian course just before COVID hit, and then it got canned. Like I did 2 or 3 classes, and then it got canned because of COVID. And I didn't pick it back up again. But I did have that Duolingo app. Have you used that before? Yeah, it's quite fun because it's like kind of gamifying it.
I was letting,
I just German doesn't like. It's not, I prefer other languages, like the sound of other kind of languages to German.
Oh,
like I can't imagine myself speaking German.
Lucy Lim has just alienated all of her German audience. German friends, if you want a German friendly film photographer, hey, I'm here. I can speak a bit of German. Von welcher Gleis fährt dieser Zug?
Oh, that's
Is there a
really good.
Jugendherberge in der Nähe? See, I can speak. So
you're so good. They're all gonna come over to you.
That's literally. Is there a youth hostel in the neighborhood? It's a pretty niche phrase.
Yeah, that is very niche.
Well, that's what that's what you had to say in the old days.
That's what you used to want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I can't imagine speaking that. Whereas I like Italian sounds more like kind of romantic and like lyrical and kind of like, I don't know, just like the idea. I like the idea of it, but maybe one day.
Yeah, excellent.
What else have we got on the agenda, Matt? I was to be transparent, I wasn't super organized. I slept in this morning because my son was waking up a lot last night, and yes, I was a little bit disorganized. I haven't had breakfast, so I've got these
I haven't had breakfast either.
Raspberries,
I'm starving.
Raspberries sitting here.
Nice.
To keep me going, but yeah. But yeah, have we got anything else on the agenda? Any plans or announcements or?
Not really. I mean, you asked me what my plans are for the rest of the year, and I said I'm still doing those Japan videos. I'll be doing them for another couple of months at least. But besides that, like I guess I'm probably doing a bit more digital these days, just because, like I've only got 3 or 4 rolls of ADOX left, and 6. I think I've got 6 rolls of Color Plus left. So it's kind of like, well, I don't want to get out there and shoot too much. Like
I know,
the way it
because
stands,
it's like, when's the next shipment going to come in of film is what I'm thinking now.
That's right.
Because those stocks are getting low.
Just waste it. You don't want to get out there and shoot a whole lot of the film and get your scans back and go, well, that was a waste of, $20 for the film and $15 for the development, or $16 for the development. So it's like, if you think about that, like it's pretty much $1 a shot now for 35 mil Australian dollars, so it's about $1 a shot. So you've really got to make sure before you press that shutter now that unless you've got a lot of film, that I really want to take this photo.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bad combo because it's the price of it and also the
Scarcity.
availability like of it. So it's
Yeah.
like double whammy. Like
Yeah.
it's really
I've got a
yeah.
lot of Polaroid. Like I must have 20 packs of Polaroid in the fridge, which I kind of forgot I had. So I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm well overdue for shooting some Polaroid. That's the other thing I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, and you don't want to leave that hanging
Mm.
around. You want to shoot that while it's fresh for
Do you have
sure. Yeah.
any gas? Do you like, like, are you kind of past the film photography gas? Like, I really want this camera, I really want that camera.
I think I am because I feel like I have everything that I need and I'm enjoying kind of going back through my cameras. Like I've been shooting the Canon Sure Shot A1, like the waterproof
Yes.
one for
Cracker.
oh my god,
So
for
good.
jobs. It's
Yeah.
just so good. And it's
Yeah.
funny because it like we've said before, it looks like a toy.
Yeah.
Like I used it yesterday and like the owner was like, oh, like that's a
Fisher Price camera.
yeah,
It
like
looks
they're like
like
you're
kind of
gonna
vibe,
shoot
hey?
this. Yeah, but so I've been shooting that and we got picked up a Minolta. I can't remember what it was. It's a Minolta. I can't remember the model name, but it's very similar to like the OM10, like
Oh,
super, super,
nice.
super
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
And like, yeah, like that was like $30 in an op shop. So that was really good. Like that doesn't really
Yeah.
happen very much, but yeah, I don't really have any gas. I think what I have more is like, cause I think they're going to be maybe bringing out, a new, like, is it XE5 or I can't remember, but like
Oh,
a new
yeah.
Fuji, there's like
Fujifilm.
rumors of a new
Yeah.
Fujifilm
Mhm.
camera. So like I don't know, I feel so I think it's from watching like Faisal Westcott's channel and just like all the Fuji hype.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do really like like I have this idea of like this version of me that's like got one of those cameras and like that's kind of what I use. And
Yeah.
then film is just like a side thing, like you say, of like when I really want to shoot,
Yeah.
you know. And we've also been looking at the new there's like a new Canon like vlogging camera because I would like to be able to film stuff myself rather than having to take like the
Yep.
big rig like
Mhm.
the XT4 out. So there's a new Canon Power Shot. I can't remember what it is, but it's like it's for vlogging and it like
Yeah.
it has a little screen that pops up. It's got a stand.
Nice.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
So like that so I'm more in that kind of thing, like more like video so then I can create content more, or digital because it's more sustainable,
Yeah.
rather than buying more film cameras, just because I'd rather spend that money on film when it's available or
Yeah.
developing. And I just feel like you hit a point where you just have enough cameras, unless that's
Yeah.
your specific part of the hobby that you like.
Mhm.
But I think it kind of hinders you, like
Like choice
I think it's
paralysis is a
better
massive
to
thing. Yeah.
like if you just have the one thing or two things or three things or whatever, like
Yeah.
a setup that's good, and you just use that and then you get to know it. And I think
Yeah.
jumping around from camera to camera can be a little bit detrimental to your style as well. Not
Yeah.
that it has to be about that, but I think if you are trying to really sort of get somewhere and it's not just hobby, I
Mhm.
think like getting to know a camera or a focal length or whatever, and like using that
Yeah.
to get your style is good too. But it
get
just
used to
depends
it
how you
and
shoot
work
though.
with it.
Like I feel like a lot of film photographers are very hobbyist, so they're like trying different things and they want to
Mhm.
build up like
Oh, for
buy
sure.
cameras.
Like
And
to me, like when I got back into, well, I've never really been away from film, but when I got into more of the gas in buying lots of cameras 4 or 5 years ago, it was about trying all the cameras I never tried back in 96 when I, actually, or 94, when I bought my first camera. I just bought one camera. I knew nothing. So a lot of me buying cameras over the last few years is I never tried Polaroid in the 90s. I never had point and shoot. Well, I had one point and shoot in the 90s, but I never did this. I never did that. I never tried that film. So yeah, it's been a lot about, discovery and going through things. The only cameras I kind of really want to, like, I'm really keen to get a Ricoh GR1V. I've convinced myself a million times that it's a bad idea because they're very fragile and they're about $700 and they can break. But I just love, I mean, this little Ricoh R1, I mean, this is my second one because the first one died, but these are incredible. Like, this is the most amazing camera. I'm turning into a real Ricoh fanboy.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've never used one or owned one. I've got one. I don't know what it is. It looks very kind of 80s. It's like a point and shoot, but it's broken. Yeah, very chunky, but it's broken. Like got it in a thrift store. But yeah, maybe we'll have to do a swap again, like on a photo walk or something, and use something.
Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get many questions or comments on your story post for today? Any questions from?
Not many. My daughter put one through, but not many. Let's have a look. Let me have a look now. Just looking. This is live TV.
Live
kids.
TV. I know. Yes. I did not put one out. But.
Oh no, I think it's it goes after 24 hours. How do you find them? I hate Instagram, Lisa Lemon. What do I do, Lisa Lemon? How do I find it?
I think you go. Is it into archives?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, I got it.
You got
Okay.
it? Yeah. That's happened to me before. Yeah.
Weirdest food. This is RJ Banale. Arjon Banale is up there in Canada. Weirdest food you had in Japan. A couple of weird things I went to this izakaya. So there's it's like a little bar where it's a little bar where you get food. There's actually this photo right here. So that's the photo there. It was right near our hotel, our apartment hotel.
Such a good shot. Yeah.
That's taken on the Fujifilm Natura Black with Superior 1600. They didn't. Well, I mean, they weren't overly friendly. They're okay, but they weren't overly friendly. But anyway, so I sat down at the bar, and this izakaya was known for izakaya, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Was known for tuna, like raw tuna.
Yes,
so I ordered the raw tuna. It was beautiful. The draft beer was great. But before they brought that out, they brought this little plate out of this tofu or something, and then there was these little white things with eyes, like tiny little things. And I said, with my translation app, I said to the waiter, I said, "What are these?" And he said, and he come back and he put white bait. And I'm like, what the hell's white bait? It's like some tiny little fish.
Yeah. They normally fry. They normally they're really good, like kind of battered and fried, like deep fried, like on a plate with like mayo.
These are
that's how I've had them in bars. It's like a good bar snack.
Okay. Yeah,
but not raw. No,
not raw. Yeah,
I haven't had them.
And the funny thing is that Sarah, our daughter was sick, so Sarah didn't come with me. But then she's like, text me and said, "Where are you? I'm coming down the street." So I went to the door to try. It was quite a cold night, but I went to the door to try and find her. And the guy behind the bar, who was a bit suspicious of me in the first place, he thought I was doing a runner, I think. So I kept turning around going, I'm not running away. I'm not running away. And then she came in, they gave her white bait, and we're like, "Oh no, thank you." Apparently when you go in, there's like a cover charge to the bar, and you get this snack for free. Well, it's not really free because you're paying cover charge.
Yeah.
But
okay. So kind of like in Spain when you get like a drink and then they give you a snack.
Yeah.
Like in Europe, they do that a lot, which is amazing. And I wish that they did that everywhere. It's like so good. But yeah.
The other thing we had was in Hokkaido, we had the Japanese love sandwiches. Like they love sandwiches more than us Aussies. And we seem to like sushi more than them. But we had a strawberry cream sandwich.
Okay, interesting.
Like, literally a sandwich with strawberries in.
Was it on that white bread? Yeah, I can't remember the name of the bread, but like they take that very seriously. So I think it's pan something, but yeah. And there's like the egg. That's really popular here at the moment, like that egg sando, like that perfectly cut, like white, and then it's got the egg and the lettuce. Yeah. Like it's in the latest issue of Gourmet Traveler.
Sando.
All about
is that Japanese
sando.
or is
I
that
don't know.
Aussie?
No, I think it's Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like there's a shop, I think in Melbourne, it's called Sando, and they just do these like sandwiches.
Yeah. Nice.
So they love a sandwich.
I've got a few questions here. I'm actually quite shocked. Eclectic Chrome, our friend Molly, if you could only take one camera back to Japan, which one? Well, it's funny. I was shooting mainly film with the Minolta TC1 and the Contax T3. I shot the Minolta TC1 more because I was really enjoying using it. It's a fun camera, but most of the photos in the zine are from the Contax T3.
There you go.
It's just effortless. It's just, well, there is some effort involved in composition, obviously, but it's a beautiful camera, and I take it for granted sometimes, Lisa Lemon.
You've got all these real like high-end, you've got every camera. Like I'll think about it and I'm like, oh, Matt's got that.
Well,
and then
sadly not, but I wish there's a few more. I've got my list, like Nikon 35 Ti with 28 Ti.
Oh yes, I would love that.
Bill too, our friend Bill in Sydney. With air travel, would you recommend taking film or digital? I was very lucky. You go into a film photography forum these days on Facebook, Lucy Lumen, and every second question is, "Hi, I'm going to such and such. Did they do a hand check of my film?" Like it's just like it's a really interesting topic to find out what's happening, but it's also extremely annoying for a lot of people because the topic is discussed all the time.
It is, yes. Like a lot of things in film photography.
Yeah, it goes around and around.
Yeah.
We departed from the Gold Coast, and the Gold Coast, you've got to go through domestic security, then you go through international security.
Yep.
And then I had 3 further. We did a couple of internal flights in Japan. So basically I went through security 5 times and had 5 hand checks. I was very lucky.
That's good, yeah.
But other people will say that in Melbourne, for example, lately, there doesn't seem to be any hand checks. So it's weird. I mean, I think if you're going to go to Japan, take your own film, because it's not very much film over there.
Yep.
But I would say if you're going to take film, try and take low ISO film. So if it does go through scanners,
yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, like the higher ISO films, like more risky than the low ones. But yeah, I have, but I don't think I thought about it really.
Yeah.
Like I took some to Europe, but I didn't think about it.
You can of course get your film scanned at your destination as well. And I was looking at that, but we just ran out of time in Tokyo.
Yeah, and then you feel like you're
cheating on Ikigai.
Cheating on Ikigai. I know when I was at a job yesterday, they were like, so when can we get these back? And they were kind of like, we want them straight away. And I was a bit like, well, you sort of should have said. And then they were like suggesting somewhere else, like, oh, if you go downstairs to Camera House. And I was just like the panic. I was like, no. Like like, because they just do such a good job. And yeah.
The next one is, this is a good question for both of us. This is from Gab, who's watching or was watching. Hope Gab's still watching. What is your most treasured discontinued film and why?
Well, mine would be, I think, still Riala. I actually have some Riala from Terrence that he sent me, and I haven't shot it because I get really I find it really difficult when I've got that there's limited supply of something. Like I think there's 2 or 3 rolls maybe he sent, and I'm just like, I really want to make them count. I want the work to be really good, or I need to come up with like a project or something around it. And then it ends up sitting there, and obviously it's expired. So you kind of really want to shoot it. I've got a roll of like Natura as well. Just, I've never shot that. I've got 1 roll, and I'm just like so petrified that I'll shoot it and then I'll just like mess it up.
Just shoot it. My Natura was pretty good. I've had mine fridge stored since whenever I got it. I bought some new and I bought some with other people, and they've all been mixed up. But my Natura turned out pretty well from Japan. But I don't think it's gonna age like fine wine. I think
that's what I mean. It's silly to leave it there because I'm shooting through all my like new film all the time, so I really should be using that. But yeah, probably Riala, I think, because it was just a really good balance. I shot a roll of Ecta.
What speed is it? 100?
100.
Yeah.
So good for me for like, or here during the day kind of thing. But just like
cans. Shopping carts. Love Riala.
It's funny that we shoot those things. Like we're like, oh, film's so expensive and all this, and then like that's what we're going to shoot. Like to a lot of people, that seems really strange. Or like when I've shot a few jobs, like I'll sneak in a couple of real Lucy Lumen snaps that are like, probably they're like, why have you given us this? Because I'm like, no, this looks cool. And but I just have to. But yeah, probably Riala. But I shot, it's reminding me because Ecta is like my favorite film, or was my favorite film. I haven't shot it in a while, and I shot some in a point and shoot. I feel like it's probably better in an SLR, but I got the film back yesterday and I looked at it and I was just kind of like, it just was a bit much. Like I was like, I don't know if it's because I haven't shot it in a while. I've been shooting, but I'm really loving Fuji, like Fuji C200, Fuji Superior 400? Extra 400. Yeah.
It's a weird film, really that Superior 400, because at first it doesn't seem to have as much personality, that Superior 400, in certain conditions. Like it hasn't got the big color punch or Color Plus or Pro Image or Ecta, but then in more overcast conditions, or it was pretty good. Like it's kind of
okay.
It's almost like you got to get used to shooting. You got to get used to it.
Yeah, it's not as good as like Fuji C200, like the before it was gold, or like the actual one. Yeah. But so I don't like it as much as that. But I do just the reds, like the reds in Fuji are like more red. But then I have been using it with the flash a lot, and I feel like that does tend to just make everything pop. Like it's a bit of a hack. But I just found Ecta, it was just a bit much. I was like, Yeah, so
You're
it's
a, you're a
interesting how you
portrait girl
change.
now.
Yeah, it's because I've been pulling this portrait, and yeah.
Sounds
Anyway,
like pulled portrait.
pulled pork.
Mine would be my most. I don't know what my most treasured. I think if there's one film I'd love to see come back, would be a high speed color, like a 1600 color speed film.
Yes,
I wouldn't say that I miss Natura more than any other film. I like Natura, but it's mainly for the speed rather than the palette.
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah. What else? That's about it. That's about it we've got for the questions. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Naomi said, just popping in for a moment. I'm working. You guys rock, catch up tomorrow. Yes. I'm excited to see Naomi and Nathan from
yes, hopefully Nathan will be
Measured
there.
Light channel.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know who else will be there in the Brisbane sort of scene, but yeah, I'm excited to be, because I don't really see many film like photographers kind of on the Gold Coast, or run into any sort of photographers. But I have been getting comments recently of people who are on the Gold Coast on YouTube saying, I know that spot or whatever. And when we went and saw Smashing Pumpkins a couple of weeks ago.
They're still alive?
Yeah, he's like nearly, I think he's like 55 or nearly 60 or something. I was like, old. Wow, that's
so old. Just
I was
give
like,
up.
oh, he's so
no. Almost as old as you too, Smashing Pumpkins.
I know, it makes me feel old, like, you know.
Yeah.
But there was this, it was good. It was, you know what it's like when you see, like, you really wanted to see them in the 90s. First couple of albums, and then they've got a new album. It's not that great.
Yeah, and they're all playing all the new.
They're playing that, and then they're chucking in some old ones in between. Yeah, and you're like, just play the old stuff. No one cares about your new stuff. But so it was good, but it was a festival, so there was quite a lot of young people there who were kind of just there just to be at a festival, you know. And this girl was like, she wasn't in a good way, and she made eye contact with me, and then that was it. And she saw me. I had my Nikon 35 TW, like the AW,
like a chunky point and shoot.
Yeah, chunky point and shoot, waterproof. I get confused with all the L35s.
Yep.
And I had that, and she came over and she was like, do you want me to take a photo of like you and your partner? And I was like, oh, that's actually nice, because we have like photos together. And then she started, she was like, I love digicams. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she just, because she thought it was a digicam, the camera. And then she started telling me all about digicams. And it was just so funny, because I was like, of everyone in the crowd here, that you could have gone up and talked to about that. So I didn't want to say anything, so I let her.
She just said, actually, have you read my article for Frankie Magazine?
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? I'm Lucy Lyman.
No, it was really sweet. And I was like, this is funny, because she was just going on about digicams and how much she loved them. It wasn't a digicam, it was a film camera. But I was like, wow, digicams are very popular. Like, you know, because this girl is just here telling me all about it. And she said
sorry. Go.
She was saying how she prints her photos out and like makes like a scrapbook and a photo album. Nice. And I think she was maybe like 21 or something. So I just thought that was really sweet. And then she did get a couple of photos of Lux and I. They weren't that great, but so
maybe you should sell her a course on composition. That could be your next digital product.
Yes, I am working actually on a new digital product. It's just taking me a while to put together, because it's quite lengthy, but it's on kind of finding your visual language and style, like the process that I sort of went through, and how to like look at other things and gain inspiration, but then put your own stamp on it, and questions to sort of ask yourself, exercises to do to get there kind of in the end. So that's coming soon on the Lucy Lemon shop. I've got a website that's being built at the moment as well, and it's looking very cool, so I'm really excited to launch that. Someone's asking, Lucy Lemon, can you play an instrument? No, I can't. I played bass guitar in like school band in year 8, but I really just wanted to hold it. Like, I didn't really want to play it. Like, I just wanted to be seen with it, you know.
The bass, out of all things, you wanted to be seen with the bass.
I know it's kind of lame, but I don't know if there were other options. I think and then the only reason they picked me was because like I was like the tallest girl with like the biggest hands, so I could kind of like, you know, which isn't very cool,
those,
but
but
awesome. No, I can't play an instrument. I'm not terrible singer. That's probably like the only thing that I can
I'm
maybe
not
do.
a terrible
but
singer.
yeah, you know, like I don't know. Lux is always
Give us
like,
a
"Oh,
few
you
bars
should
now.
sing." No. I have done it before. Like I could do it just, you know, if it's organic, but not
Yeah.
not put on the spot.
Yeah.
But no. Lux is the musician in the family for
My
sure.
wife's a good singer. She can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My sister-in-law she used to be on Disney cruise ships out of Florida as a singer.
Oh wow.
And so my wife can sing a little bit as well. I love singing, but I'm
Nice.
absolutely terrible.
We have heard you a few times on
Oh
here.
yeah, I have. I belt
Normally
out
you always, I'm surprised you haven't by now. Normally
well, I
you've
got a few death threats, so you know, you don't want to
you didn't want to push
to
it.
continue. No. We've got a question from Keegan Byrne. Thoughts on large format and any plans for either of you to try in the future?
I cannot stand large format. Like I mean, not like the work or like putting it down, but
That's
for
a kick in the
me,
ghoulies for all
like
large format fans out there.
Germans, large format.
They're all deserting you now.
No, it kills me. Like I'll watch videos and it's, you know, like sometimes grainy days will do like large format or whatever. And I just think, oh my God, this is just my absolute worst nightmare.
Yeah.
There's so much setup.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to take all this stuff with you. It's
You're
so
running
slow.
gun.
I'm like, just give me a point and shoot. Get rid of this large format. I couldn't do it. Like
I've even been toying with have you ever shot much 110?
I've never shot 110, no.
See,
no, I haven't.
I've got a couple of 110 cameras, and I've found like 6-7 cartridges. I got one here somewhere of 110 in the fridge when I was doing my clear out for the camera fair. I'm like, yeah, I've really got to shoot more 110 just for a bit of fun. The only thing is, Ikigai don't develop it. I think you got to send it to maybe Rewind in Sydney.
Okay.
Only certain labs. But yeah,
certain
I'm like,
labs
I've got to make use of this film. Like I've got all these. I've got 110 in the fridge. I got Polaroid in the fridge. Why am I not shooting this? Obviously, I don't love it very much, but I still should get out there and do it.
Yeah. I've never tried it. I had the option to try like a 110 camera from Cameron at Selling Cameras.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I just don't know if, you know, if it's something that I kind of like want to do. So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no large format. Have you tried it before, Matt? Or
no, I've tried medium format. Obviously, I've got a Pentax 645, I've got a Bronica SQA, I've got a Rolleiflex, but even medium format, I'm like, 12 rolls, man, 12 shots on a roll.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no,
that's not going to last me 2 minutes with my shooting style.
No, I think
reload and
I know. Yeah, it's a lot. I think we've got our Texas Leica that we've only shot 2 rolls through, I think, and I think we were talking the other day about doing a stylized shoot. Like I'll model and, you know, Lux will shoot and we'll do that, I think. And have like something in mind that we're really gonna, and have it set up and do it like that way and use. I think that's a good use of that camera. But like, I can't just sort of walk around and just have like 8 or 9 shots or whatever it is on that. And so no, 35mm all the way for me.
35mm all the way for me as well. Lux Lumen's asking for a Dua Lipa impersonation. I'm guessing he means you, not me. How about you be Dua Lipa? I'll be the baby. I'm one of the greatest, not a baby.
I don't even know who that is. I'm feeling really
levitating.
old.
Like Dua Lipa sings
like,
Levitating, and then the dude rapping is the baby.
Raps. Oh, okay.
I'm one of the greatest, not debating.
I only know her. Matt Murray rapping.
No, you don't want to hear me rapping. No, you don't. Although everyone raps to Kanye's In American Girl. American Boy. Oh,
I love that song.
Everyone does the rap.
Oh my God. I love that song so much. Yes. And I know all the words to that song. And that's like not really my genre. No, I'm not gonna. She has a great voice, Estelle. Yeah, for sure. No, maybe a Dua Lipa. We've been making music together lately, and I'm gonna maybe do some vocals over the top of it. So
sweet.
So you'll hear me then.
You hear you wailing in the background of Lux's magic music.
Just ruining it.
It's gonna be in the mixing. I'll turn that voice track down a little bit. Fade out gradually.
Yes.
I'm sure you have a lovely voice, Lucy, and I'm sure you're just being very modest about your skills.
Yes. I'm not normally this modest, but yeah.
No. Well, there you go. So I guess looking at the PayPal, I've had 3 people buy the zine. So if you're just tuning in now, if you buy the zine, I'll open it up for another hour. But if you buy the zine and you get all the postcards and the MATLabs camera sticker. You'll
so much
also
good
get
stuff.
a personalized Instax Mini of Lucy Lumen that she will pose for a Brisbane Camera Fair tomorrow, assuming that she is now going to turn up to the Brisbane Camera Fair, knowing that she's got a model for 3 or 4 Instaxes.
Screwed if I don't. Yeah, hopefully I don't get COVID from like
Well,
between now and tomorrow, but I won't. No, I'll be
Yeah.
there. I'll be there, camera ready.
Right. Okay.
As in my like this is
Instax
my
ready.
yes. Instax
If you're
ready.
wearing
I'm
if
excited.
you're wearing
This is
green,
fun.
you'll be Lucy Lyman.
It'll be Lucy Lyman.
If you're
I'll
wearing
sign
yellow,
it.
you'll be Lucy Lemon.
Lucy Lemon.
Don't know how many more of these puns I can do, but
yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be exciting. I've got to keep
bring cash.
I gotta keep an eye on Lux too, because
Bring cash, because if there's an ATM there, but there's always a queue for the ATM, and it's one of those ATMs that charges like $5.
You. Yeah.
So
we'll get some money out today for it for sure. Yeah.
Cashola.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you to everybody for joining and commenting. And we'll definitely do another one soon, and we'll have a bit more of a topic, and we'll get back to like our playlists, and we'll do more questions, quick fire round. We had a few things we were going to do, but then we sort of
just waffled for an hour.
We've waffled, but it's nice to catch up, and it's nice to live stream and not be like on the like kind of algorithm YouTube making kind of videos where you've got to bang it out. So yeah, fun. Thank you, Matthew Murray. Thank you,
Lucy Lemon.
And thank you to everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow for the
Brisbane Camera Fair
for the photo
10 o'clock
shoot
at Albion. Yeah.
Yes.